Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about authority and your purpose in life and how the two relate to each other and how, I guess, to manage this relationship with authority that we have to deal with right now in our everyday lives. So I'm going to actually made a blog post about this a couple weeks ago, so I'm going to start with reading you that and kind of elaborate on it like I usually do. Yes, humans are at the mercy of different authority figures on a large scale, but how can we expect the world to not be like that collectively when we ourselves are seeking a teacher or an authority on a daily basis? So basically, the micro of the macro, what's going on inside of us and what's going on outside of us. We seek authority figures to give us answers to live our lives by or to make us feel good about the life we're living. We take it as fact that someone is going to be higher than us and know more than we do. But this is an archetype. And archetypes are just constructs of the mind, making them only real in our minds and with the mind. That means outside of our mind, they don't exist. So outside of the static third dimension, they don't exist. That means if you take away the mind and the body, you don't have authority. That means it's not really real. You can control it, and it's like a dream. We believe certain people have evolved into something that is unachievable, something we can't ourselves live up to, and that they have an answer to your question, a metaphorical pill for you to take to calm your mind. Spiritual teachers, one for example, who I listened to, her name is Teal Swan, and she's a really intelligent woman, but she also puts forth the notion that she has extrasensory ability, putting her in this position of authority or putting her in this position of power. And then there's this premium on her perspective, and she kind of has the authoritarian perspective, like I know what's best because I have different sensory ability than you do. But people really value this. They're willing to be submissive, and they're happy to be submissive and take direction, and they observe her language and her words, and they latch on to this. And this obviously amps up the activity in the brain because they're latching onto words, they're listening to her speak, and they're mesmerized by her words, and it's occupying the brain. And when you occupy your brain, you lose your own, where was I? This only ramps up the activity in the brain, which disconnects us from our own senses. So, and our own senses are the most important tool that we possess. They connect us to everything. And when you occupy your mind with the language of an authority figure or with anything, you lose connection to everything. So basically, you're chasing your tail. You're trying to solve your problems, and you're trying to find peace by seeking out these people. But at the same time, they're giving you an answer that perpetuates the cycle. And you're just skimming the surface, never digging deeper. You're just answering these questions that come from the same place. And these words, instead we live by, so when we occupy our minds with the language of an authority figure, we lose the connection to everything. Instead, we live by the words that we hear. These words build houses in the minds of people who latch onto them, and these houses become sacred territory once time has passed, and they turn into beliefs. And then all of a sudden, where did they originate? They originated from someone else's mind. Well, what about your own mind? Why are you discounting yourself? Why are you discounting your own mind? And now you've got this language that has built a house in your mind, and now basically it's an institution, and you're prostituting yourself for this institution in your mind. If you want to go one way, but the institution demands that you must stay within these confines, then you have to operate within these confines, even though your instinct is to go outside of the norm or a different direction that the institution says. But you're going to sell your soul for that institution because you're afraid that if that institution doesn't exist, then what is there? So how is this person who has this institution, who's married to someone else's words, how are they supposed to experience life for themselves and therefore positively contribute to the evolution of psychological well-being? They can't. The confusion that provokes our searching in the first place is provided in unlimited quantity, and that's why searching is constant. Do you see that? You get one answer that establishes itself within your psyche, and then that answer becomes an authority, and it leads to more questions and more answers. It's never ending. It's a rat race. So, these questions are growing from this existential fear. It's basically a psychological confusion that, and we're confused because we're trying to make sense of this fear, but it's just a part of us. Fear is just a part of who we are, and it's going to win because it's always going to exist. That's why these beautiful words given to us by so-called spiritual teachers function more like heroin than self-proclaimed self-help. Of course, there's truth behind what is set out there in the spiritual community, but the commercialization of it has brought widespread abuse of it. Because these teachings inspire no real personal growth, they only tend to the branches of the tree, or they don't tend to the trunk or the roots. Same as taking an Advil to cure a headache. You're just concerning yourself with numbing the most current and bothersome issue rather than checking for the root cause. So for a root cause for a headache, you may want to look for, are you dehydrated? But instead you're just taking an Advil to cure that pain. But that pain, that lack of sleep or that dehydration that's causing your headache is going to manifest now in another way. Now maybe tomorrow you're going to break out, something like that. It's always going to keep manifesting in another form. Same with you not addressing the root cause of why are you questioning and seeking in the first place. That's the most important question that people overlook. That's the root cause of all of your questions. Like, if you get to the bottom of that question, and there's not one answer, it's just a full understanding. But why are you questioning and seeking in the first place? Some of the answers might be, well, I don't know, I'm just confused. I need to figure it out. I need to figure something out. I need to find my life purpose. I need to know the meaning of life. I'm searching for the meaning of life. I'm searching for truth, the ultimate truth. And you're never going to find an answer to these questions. And if you do find an answer, it's just temporary. You're going to evolve, and it's going to evolve with you. It's never going to be finite. And if it is finite, then you're going to wind up prostituting yourself for it, because you are going to evolve with the institution staying static. And so then you're going to evolve, and you're going to have different instinct, and this institution is going to keep you held in one place. So the fear is going to win. It's a part of who we are. So why not try to confront the fear and develop communication and understanding with it? And when you think of it that way, it becomes really clear. Take a step back and ask yourself these questions, and there's not going to be one answer. There's going to only be understanding. The whole point of understanding is to release people from the attachment they have to the fear and the dramas. One of my favorite quotes is by Albert Einstein. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. When we know something, it restricts our understanding of so many other things because we're married to that which we know, similar to the belief I spoke about earlier. So my question is, once again, how do you expect to live in a world without authority figures that control you if you are allowing it to go on within your own mind? So that is my post about authority. I know it's very, very loaded there, but basically I spent a lot of time searching for my purpose and searching for life answers, and all the searching is just something to keep you occupied and distracted from the real problem. And the real problem is that it's trying to digest the fact that we don't need to have a purpose, that there doesn't have to be something more, that this could be all that there is, and that's okay. And there's so much substantial going on in our lives that we miss because we're preoccupied with trying to construct some sort of substantiality, if that's a word. If we're trying to construct some sort of substance, we're trying to make it and force it to be something and justify our existence, and you are living by the beliefs of someone else that someone told you to live, and you're missing the whole point, because the people that wrote the Bible, it's all human testimony. They witnessed something and they took record of it in writing, and now you, instead of doing your own witnessing, are obsessing over their witnessing. Why? Why do you think that there's something outside of you, or that there's someone better than you? There's not. We're all equal. There's nothing outside of you that's better than you or greater than you, and there's no ultimate truth. The closest thing to truth is nature. If you want to learn something, observe nature. Look outside at nature and look at what the trees are doing. They're just existing. What is a flower doing? It doesn't care if it's prettier than the next flower or uglier than the next flower. It's just existing and providing. It's unconditional. And I mean, I guess, you know, finding your purpose, the way that I think about it is, yeah, it does make you kind of sick. Why does it make you kind of sick to think about, well, I need a purpose because I need to feel important, because I need to feel like there's something more, because it makes me feel good. Okay, but you're always searching. Don't you want to find inner peace? Isn't that of utmost importance? Isn't that what everyone wants to find? So how do you get inner peace? You talk to your fear. You confront your fear. You try to get an understanding of your fear. And then you observe nature, and you learn to be more like a tree. That's my perspective on life. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and email me with any questions. I love hearing your questions. lifeincolorblog@gmail.com, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye. Alright, bitches, is this recording? How can I be more like a tree? The universe is non-linear, then why the fuck are the other planets three-dimensional? Okay, but that's how we interpret them. What do they look like? Holy fuck. What do they look like? Imagine if you were on mushrooms on another planet. Oh my god. Holy f- We look to priests or Jesus. It's called authority. My favorite thing. Or the president or your mom. It's a very complicated subject. Today my blog post is about authority, and I am actually eating lunch at the moment. That's how everything happens, is in our minds. I'm not into it right now. I'm gonna get into it in a minute. Or your teacher at school, or your professor. So these questions have an endless supply of fuel, basically. And how do I fucking explain this? It's like if you were to plant a seed in soil that turned the leaves purple. I need to go on a walk. I'm going to talk to you about authority. As soon as my hair doesn't look like shit. Or your big sister. Always a battle with the hair. Help is like a band-aid on the problem. Why do I look like I'm 90 years old? Christ or the president. I mean, not like those two things are comparable, but these. So that's why I don't like authority, because it's like you have to do this, or this is how it is, and it's not how it is, because I'm experiencing something completely different than you are.